Hello all my students, and today I have planned to complete this union executive today. We've just got a little bit left of your chapter, and we are going to do the last module. I have covered the Prime Minister and the President, and we will begin with the union executive part, the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Okay, so we'll start with that. Now there is nothing to explain in it, it's just that I have to read it with you. And so let's start reading immediately. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet. He is, of course, the leader of the Cabinet. He is the head of the Cabinet. Please underline that. And no provision is made in the Constitution for the appointment of different categories of ministers, such as Minister of Cabinet rank, Minister of State, and Deputy Ministers. The Prime Minister has the liberty to decide on these matters. So he is the head of the Cabinet, and the Prime Minister has the right to decide on the Ministers of State and the Cabinet rank. We've already discussed this. The Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, and the Deputy Ministers. These are all decided, chosen by the Prime Minister. Second one, he has the power to allocate portfolios and to reshuffle the Council of Ministers. It is the Prime Minister who allocates the departments or portfolios to the ministers. He or she can reshuffle his or her Council of Ministers whenever he wants. He has the power to select and dismiss the ministers. Then he has the power to direct and coordinate the policy. This one we need to read. The Prime Minister coordinates the working of the various departments so that the administration is carried on smoothly. In critical matters such as foreign, defense, economic and technological affairs, he or she coordinates the policy of the government. Resignation of the Prime Minister implies the resignation of the entire cabinet. Now, how is he inside the Lok Sabha, inside the Parliament? Okay, he is a leader of the Lok Sabha. As a Prime Minister is a leader of the majority party in the Parliament. He is said to be the leader of the House. He is a spokesperson for the government. He or she makes all the important announcements on national policies on the floor of the House. He is a defender of the government policies. In case this one is important, intervention in case of controversial issues. There are some controversial issues like language issue, center-state relations, price rise, atrocities on women, over which members lose their temper. If an ugly situation arises in any of the houses, the matter generally ends with the intervention of the Prime Minister. Please learn this point, okay? You have to learn all the points, but remember this one. Now, as the leader of the nation, he represents the entire nation, and when he speaks for the entire nation. It is as if the whole nation is supposed to be speaking through him or her. During a national crisis like war, even the opposition parties support the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister decides what kind of relations India would have with other people, with other countries. He tries to protect the interests of the countries in international forum. At the time of general election, it is a proposed Prime Minister for whom the people, for whom or against whom the people vote. The Prime Minister is also the ex officio chairman of the Niti Aayog and the Atomic Energy Commission. Now, how do you check the Prime Minister? Check on the authority of the Prime Minister. Though he is a leader, he has to ensure the support of his ministers as well as the party. The entire party has to be supporting him. In case of coalition, means where there is no one proper majority and a number of parties have joined, there's a coalition government. The Prime Minister does not have an absolute majority in the Lok Sabha, and his or her position becomes very vulnerable. The opposition parties always look for a chance to criticize the Prime Minister. The press and the public opinion act as an effective check on the authority of the Prime Minister. So, who are the people who check his authority? First of all, his own ministers. He has to get their support. Okay. Then, in case of coalitions, when the Prime Minister does not enjoy a majority. So, if he does not have a majority, then the Prime Minister, then his position becomes vulnerable, because anybody will say हम support खींच लेंगे तो तुम्हारी government गिर जाएगी. Okay, so his position is very vulnerable. So it's always sensible when you start voting. Please remember that it's always sensible and favorable to have one party in complete majority, so that the Prime Minister can act freely and he is not always under the stress of saving his chair. That, I have to please this one, I have to please that one, I have to please this one. No, I have to please only my citizens and my country and my nation. That's it. Okay, so please remember that when you're voting. Then the collective responsibility. Under Article 75(3) of the Constitution, the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the entire House of the people. The principle of collective responsibility means what? If the decisions taken in the meetings of the cabinet are equally applicable to everybody, and nobody can have a different policy. So if the cabinet ministers decide on something, then it is a collective responsibility of the entire council of ministers to ensure that that decision is carried out. Okay. Then the ministers share the joint responsibility for the government's policies and performance. A minister must function as a team, the ministers, okay, inside the parliament and outside the parliament. They must function as a team. They must not say that I am different, he is different, they think differently. No, function as a team. A vote of no confidence against one minister is a vote of no confidence against the entire ministry, and the whole ministry has lost the confidence, and the Lok Sabha has to resign. So even if one ministry has to resign, the whole Lok Sabha will resign. Then what do you mean by individual responsibility? Now this was a collective responsibility. So as a group, as a team, they are collectively responsible to the whole nation. They are collectively responsible to themselves. That when the cabinet has taken a particular decision, then everybody has to follow that decision. Now what is the individual responsibility? They hold office during the pleasure of the president and can be dismissed by him or her. Of course, on the advice of the prime minister, even when they may have the confidence of the Lok Sabha. So even if the legislature, even if they have the confidence of the Lok Sabha, they can be dismissed by the president. Okay. Each minister is answerable to the parliament. Every minister has to answer to the parliament for the department which is under his control. So if I am in charge of a particular department, then if something goes wrong in that department, then I am answerable for that. Means the minister is answerable for that department and he has to give an answer. That is his individual responsibility. So he is responsible for the ministry that is under him. And if he does not fulfill that responsibility, then he may be asked to resign. Every minister is responsible for matters such as a personal lapse, departure from official policy by him or his department, breach of the oath of secrecy, and so on. There are many occasions when a minister has owned responsibility for the mistakes or shortcomings for the department under him, and he has resigned from his or her post. We have had a very recent, you all would have followed up. I will not say you have followed up on the news, but you would definitely be knowing that the education minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, had to resign for the lapse of somebody in his department. So even though he himself is a man of character and integrity, because somebody has made a mistake or because there was a lapse in his department, he has had to take the responsibility of that and he has had to resign, just because maybe there were loopholes and people took advantage of it. And now the government has decided to become extremely strict. So you all better be aware, there will be no more leaks. So please work very hard, okay? Don't give up hope. The government is definitely looking into the interests of the students, okay? So with that, we come to an end of this chapter. And before I end this chapter, how will you remember this prime minister and the cabinet and inside the parliament and as a leader of the nation? There are lots of points. So as usual, I have made my own acronyms, which you all may take. I love sharing my acronyms with you so that it can help you all to learn. Are you all able to see it, children? Okay? I love to share this with you. Okay? So let's read it. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Grasp. That is the first thing. To grasp. Now instead of grasp, you just remember the word grasp. The Prime Minister and the Cabinet grasp. But you cancel the G and put an L over there. So instead of G, you put an L. So then it is a leader of the cabinet, then his resignation, then he allocates the portfolios, he selects and dismisses the ministers. All this is given according to the points in your book. Okay. Then the next one, inside the parliament, the prime minister inside the parliament. How will you say? Love, see, do India. Love, see, do India. So leader of the Lok Sabha, spokesperson for the government. He is a defender of the government policies, and he has an intervention in case of controversial issues. So please remember these. And the last one, the Prime Minister as a leader of the nation. What is the sentence that I want you that you could remember? The Prime Minister as a leader of the nation holds all the reins. Okay, he holds all the reins. R-E-I-N-S, the reign. Okay, so now what do these reins words stands for? Relations with the foreign countries and all. Then he is the ex officio chairman of Niti Aayog and Atomic Energy Commission, international forums, and he speaks for and represents the entire nation. So with that, I have given you the acronyms also, and we have come to an end of this chapter. And please do the collective responsibility and the individual responsibility. There is nothing that can be shortened in this. That's why I have not given you any notes on that. You have to learn and understand the entire thing. I've explained it to you, so please learn it from your textbook. Okay? And here's Hemangi, your History Civics facilitator, wishing you all the best for your upcoming prelims and of course the finals, and see you all in my next module. Bye everyone.